Hey everyone, thanks for stopping by the movie Hangout. Hope you're having a great Halloween season. Some exciting news just happened. The Pet Sematary remake trailer has just been uploaded online. Let's check it out and I'll give you my thoughts on it.
So many trees.
It's beautiful, right?
It's definitely not Boston.
Here we go. Okay, so what do you think?
Wow. This whole place is ours?
I even got him to throw in a whole forest as a new backyard.
It was a myth. Kids used to dare each other to go into the woods at night. They knew the power of that place. They feared it. Those woods belong to something else. The ground is bad. It may be just some crazy folk tale, but there is something up in those woods. There's something that brings things back. Sometimes dead is better.
Wow. I have to say that this trailer, in my opinion, it looks pretty good. I have high hopes for this. There's a lot of details that I'm seeing in this trailer that are going to be in the movie that were in the book. If you've read the book is fantastic. Obviously, books are usually better than movies. There's more detail involving like the characters and the story. But there's a lot of creepy little details in the book that were not in the movie back in the early '90s. That I think it took away from the story. And okay, so in the trailer right here, I feel like the tone is captured a lot better. I feel like the color temperature of the cinematography, it kind of captures that gloomy feeling, that's throughout the whole, the whole book. The casting looks pretty good. I mean, the kid who plays Gage looks a lot like the kid from the movie from the early '90s. What's the actor's name? Miko something. I think Miko Hughes or something. Which he was good because he was a really cute little kid. And then I won't give anything away, but tragedy happens and then he becomes evil. The one thing I noticed in this that I didn't like was John Lithgow. Okay, his character didn't have a New England accent. In the book and also in the movie in the early '90s, he had a New England accent, and I feel like it just kind of added like a richness to the character. So he just sounded like John Lithgow, but John Lithgow is a fantastic actor, so I don't doubt he's going to do a good job. The kids going into the woods with these ceremonial masks, I thought was a really interesting touch. It's not in the book, but it really adds to, kind of like the creepiness factor. It kind of reminds me of the movie The Wicker Man, where people wear like these pagan animal masks. It's like their spirit animal, and I felt like this movie captured the paganism better than the movie did in the early 90s, because in the book, it really touches upon that, the paganism of like the Native Americans, and you know, the woods is kind of like inhabited by this like old demonic spirit that's been in the Americas even before the Native Americans, and how this the cemetery kind of taps into that dark demonic power. And so when people are resurrected in this pet cemetery, this Indian burial ground, that demon spirit is actually in them. They show the semi truck whizzing by the house. That's a big part in the book. And then the actor that is cast as the dad, he's a really good actor. For some reason I can't remember his name, but he's a really, really good actor. So I feel like he's going to be able to capture the emotion that is necessary for that role, because terrible, horrible things happen to him. And in the book, there's a fantastic part in the book where the old man that's played by John Lithgow talks for the first time about the evil power of the Indian burial ground just beyond the pet cemetery. And he tells a story about a young man who is killed in war, and his body is sent back to the town to be buried. And his father is so grief-stricken that he resorts to burying him to try to bring him back in the Indian burial ground. And when he comes back, I mean, it is freaky. And the book, if they can even make it half as creepy as what the book describes it, it's going to be like Shining, Psycho creepy, because it is absolutely fantastic. And it looks like that they might have touched on that a little bit. I hope they do, because in the movie in the early 90s, they really didn't do a very good job of it. But it's got to be a bigger part, because it'll set the stage for the demonic power that the Indian burial ground is actually capable of, and then it'll be a better payoff at the end. And I think that was a huge factor in the early 90s movie, that, you know, they just kind of just blew right through it, and it didn't really make it as creepy as what it could be. It comes out in April. I'm excited about it. And then if you notice, they actually have the Stephen King font with the red font, and it kind of glows in the back, kind of like the show Stranger Things, what they did, because it just looks really cool. And I forget the name of the actual font that they use for the titles of all the Stephen King books, but it fits Stephen King perfectly. And when people see it, they think of Stephen King. So that's pretty cool. So my rating of the trailer so far, I'd give this thing a 9 out of 10. Granted, there's a lot of trailers that are awesome, but the movie is terrible. So we will see what the other trailers look like. But that's my rating right now. I give it 9 out of 10. Demonic Indian burial grounds. And if you like this review, and you want to get more of them, and you want to get more reviews, rants, and original content, click subscribe. Hope you're all having a great Halloween season. Later.